Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And first and foremost, I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone out there. I hope that you all have a great day today, great night. Wherever you guys are spending the holidays, I hope that you guys are having an amazing time. But nonetheless, welcome to the channel for those that are new. For those that aren't new, welcome back to the channel. I do appreciate all of you guys for continuously digesting the content, watching the content, and supporting the content. I do truly appreciate all of you. But today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, and we have quite a bit to talk about. I do want to start off with this poster here from the recent Crypto Means business campaign that Ripple did run. And we do see here from Anderson, we do see Ripple is still taking shots at Swift, making a collaboration unlikely. Poster from Ripple Swell in London this year. Swift isn't fast enough. Move value across borders in an instant with Ripple's crypto solutions for business. Now, listen, I've always said many times on this channel that Ripple is not trying to compete with Swift because they don't necessarily need to. Listen, the technology behind Swift we know is extremely inefficient. It is old age technology. We know with what Ripple has built and what they have achieved with XRP as a digital asset has been something remarkable to say the least. Now, over here from Anderson, we also do see a question from an individual, and then it says, why partner with old tech? Ripple are in the right path. And we do see down here, because convincing 11,000 banks to switch to a new international payment system will take you a decade. And remember, right? I've always said that the main focus point from David Schwartz has always been to have Swift make a deal with Ripple where all of their banks get to use RippleNet for free, maybe even paying Swift, and we do see fits our XRP strategy perfectly. Now, when we look at this technology, I do want everyone to realize that I would argue within the next, I always say 3 to 5 year time frame, for something like this, at this scale, this could happen at any moment. All we really need is Swift to really kind of utilize this technology, or just make a deal with Ripple. Will it happen? It's questionable. It 100% could happen. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, it is inevitable that these 11,000 plus banks will utilize Ripple technology. And you might think that I'm crazy for saying that, but when you look at it, right, the information is right in front of your face. You can see the statistics from Ripple's side with what they have been doing with XRP with many, many businesses, and it's only a matter of time before the dominoes fall into place and we start to see that massive network effects or network effect of institutional grade players around Ripple with XRP. And it's going to be very, very exciting. And also, right, we really kind of look at all of the players behind Swift. And we're starting to see a lot of the major companies around the world utilizing DLT technologies, and they're utilizing multiple ones. But we do see our Citi using Ripple. This graphic lists Citi as a Ripple user. It's not original to the source, but rather blockchain data tech. Surprising, but Citi is known to have experimented with Ripple earlier, likely to regard RippleNet use only, not XRP. And shout out to Wrath of Kahneman for this, but yes, we actually do see Citi down here, and we do see Ripple being mentioned. Very interesting. And we do see down here, this is when Citi experimented with Ripple. It was back in 2020. Leonidas actually posted this over on Twitter. It found some Citi executive interviews that mentioned Ripple experiments. Does the blockchain tech refer to these or something else? It is questionable, right? But to me personally, right, when we look at what happens and what is happening around the fintech area, a lot of the things that we look at around partnerships are shadow partnerships. There's NDAs in place. There's things that people don't really see. I also question on the idea on like if we will see a white label RippleNet with XRP at some point in time where these companies could utilize it, saying that in quotation marks it's their own solution, but we know that it's just a white label. We actually see this happening with Overledger, which that could be a possibility at some point in time, but it's questionable on if that will happen eventually. But yes, I thought that this was very interesting. And in my opinion, all of these major payment technology giants like Citi, or like any major banking entity like Bank of America, etc., will all be, utilizing this technology at some point in time. And I do think that a lot of them are waiting for the lawsuit to be out of the way. And all while we are in this lawsuit, remember that Ripple continues to expand. Going back to the 29th, we recently seen their partner Tranglo has officially launched a real-time cross-border payments in Malaysia. The company's real-time transactions continue to grow and are expected to increase 3.5x by 2025. And yeah, this is very, very interesting. The APAC region, by the way. So for those that recently joined the channel, for those that recently got into crypto, for those that recently started to learn about XRP, I want you guys to realize that Ripple has been focused on the APAC region for a very, very long time, and they continue to expand in, like into Asia, into the regions around Asia. I mean, it's only a matter of time before we start to see the entire eastern area, foreign eastern area around, like this is outside of the US, because right now in the US, we know that there's a lot of feet dragging happening. There's only a matter of time, in my opinion, until we start to see RippleNet with on-demand liquidity expansions happening around the world and spanning around the world. And the US might be the last one, but in my opinion, I don't think that they will be. To me personally, I think that it only takes one major big four country to go live with this technology and reap the benefits for all of them to be on board. But we do see Tranglo upgrades its activities in Malaysia with real-time cross-border payments, and we do see Ripple partner Tranglo has launched real-time cross-border payments in one of the fastest-growing countries in the Asian region. Earlier, at the end of August, the company announced expansion into the UAE and the opening of payment corridor there. This time it is time for Malaysia, but in a different way. Specifically, the innovation is that 80% of cross-border payments processed by Tranglo will take place in real time. The upgrade was needed due to the boom in real-time transactions in Malaysia. The breakthrough came thanks to Malaysia's central banking or central payment system, PayNet, which had previously implemented the Do Now real-time platform. As a result of these activities, real-time transactions have grown by 800% in 3 years and are expected to increase 3.5 times more by 2025. And this is awesome to see. And remember that, Ripple owns 40% of stake in Tranglo. So when we look at this, it's only a matter of time before Tranglo with Ripple, because this is like a power couple technically, takes over the payment space around cross-border payments. And remember that this area is a very interesting area to look at, because when we focus on it, it's such a massive opportunity in terms of a value, but also as a technological advancement. And again, it really kind of goes back to the beginning where we start to kind of question on like, okay, well, is Swift going to innovate or will they fall? Because in my opinion, Swift needs to innovate or they will fall. And also, I do want to play this quick clip. It's about a minute long. We do see the digital future is here, and it's all about interoperability with the universal stablecoin / bridge like XRP.
We have talked about digital future. Sorry to bring it to all of us, but the future has arrived. And we all are now striving to make the best out of it, because not only it has arrived, but it has arrived on steroids. If you look at the speed with which CBDCs are picking up, we have done a survey. Over 100 countries are at different stages of CBDCs, or what is happening in the universe of stablecoins, or what is happening in the crypto asset universe. We clearly have a lot to deal with. I would like to concentrate on one issue, and it is how we do it with regard to cross-border payments in a world of growing fragmentation.
And I always love to hear them talk about cross-border payments. How can we innovate? How can we push the boundaries of technological innovation? It's very simple, right? You focus You focus on the big name in the game around cross-border payments, around payments in general, and that is crypto technology. She did mention crypto, but again, they never really give you the insights on what they are really focused on. To me personally, I think that they realize the power and the potential behind Ripple. I think that they're trying, in my opinion, to get around utilizing Ripple technology and try to create their own. But to me, I've always said that this will most likely fail because I just don't think that it's possible. I mentioned it many times on why it isn't possible, like around using a public token, why a public token is 100% needed, and why, with what Ripple has already solved, is it really pushes the boundaries of where any central bank, any major leader around payments and finance is. The patent technology is something remarkable. The innovation is something remarkable. What they have solved is something remarkable, and it's only a matter of time. And yes, when we look at that bridge currency, yesterday I just talked to you guys about how XRP could be revalued to be the bridge currency between the SDR, and the SDR, right, would be the full-on innovation around the monetary system, a full reset into a gold-backed system where XRP will be the bridge currency between all currencies. And we do see over here, innovation thinking IMF news allowed us to wake the sleeping beauty of our 2021 SDR allocation. Climate vulnerabilities or vulnerable countries with gigantic needs but constrained resources can now tap into these assets via the Resilience and Sustainability Trust. Listen closely.
And that is what we actually did. It's a very simple thing, saying in a world where needs are so gigantic and resources are constrained, we should not allow a dormant asset if we can make something out of it.
Remember, all of this, tapping into these assets, tapping into, like these assets, these sustainable assets. It's funny how they utilize sustainability. Like, go look at anything around XRP. Like everything XRP is doing, everything Ripple's doing with XRP is focused on sustainability, resilience. I mean, like the wording could not be ever more clear. And remember, I just talked about the IMF in a recent video. It was actually centered on their post from a few days ago. I might not be able to find it, but it was talking about the bullet train that's here around digital assets and innovation around the monetary system. Like, they can't make things ever more clear for us. But the general public, and here it is, the general public is still sleeping at the wheel. Sending money abroad or receiving it will be easier in the future. New tokens and platforms may transform cross-border payments. Like, yeah, this is already happening. We know this is already happening. We know that the value tied to this will be so significant. And it is, in my opinion, centered on that SDR as well. I think that SDR stablecoin talk, that discussion around things happening within cross-border payments and money and finance alone, it's very interesting to focus on these PDF files, these, files that were posted, it could be a year ago, it could be 2 years ago, does not matter. Shout out to ISO20022. Let's do it over on Twitter. But we do see XRP, special drawing rights, stablecoin, SDR. Arrangements, for instance, a special drawing rights based stablecoin issued by a multilateral agency, and which would be exchangeable with any national currency. Any national currency could thus be convertible into any national currency in 2 steps via the stablecoin. Such an arrangement would reassemble the cross-border payment system that Ripple currently operates with its XRP cryptocurrency, and is just one of a variety of possible alternatives. Any democratic alternative should allow, for private sector solutions. Multi-currency corridors, for instance, should not rule out the use of regulated private stablecoins or cryptocurrencies, even though such solutions might require additional regulation. And yeah, I think that this is a big area to focus on, because this really kind of puts it into perspective on just what's happening, what's being focused on. You never see other tokens being labeled here under an SDR. Like, to me, with XRP, yesterday we talked about the revaluation of it to gold. It could be revalued to an ounce of gold or a specified weight in gold, which would bring it to a much higher valuation, but it would be exchangeable to any other token. Any token would be exchangeable to any other token as well, or currency in this area, because of atomic settlement. And this is huge. Like, atomic settlement between two major central bank digital currencies, or even just any major two currencies, that's a huge stepping stone. And it's a thing that they are focused on right now. And also, I want you guys to realize that central banks would stand ready to provide liquidity in their own currencies to facilitate and unclog payments. Things are going to rapidly shift around the entire monetary system, and I hope that you are all ready for this. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.